Hello, my name is Micah Feldkamp. Today I'm going to show you how to set up an integration with your CRM and an artificial intelligence scheduling tool called Amy. Amy is going to be your new personal assistant for scheduling, and I'm going to give you everything you need to quickly delegate your scheduling tasks to Amy, update your CRM, calendar, and conferencing platforms like for GoToMeeting or JoinMe. Before we begin, I'll give you some background information about me. I'm a CRM consultant at cloudreferrals.com, serving new and existing Insightly CRM users. I've been a member of the Insightly community for over 2 years, becoming one of the first Insightly heroes, Insightly authorized partners, and playing a valuable role in the community by solving support requests, giving feedback on beta features to help shape the product, and developing best practices for Insightly. Please stay tuned in as this tutorial will be applicable to virtually all CRM SaaS products on the market. You can connect with me via email at micah@cloudreferrals.com if you need more information. In this tutorial, we'll first learn about Amy. Second, review the process. Third, perform a demonstration. Find out what applications are needed. And finally, show you how to set up the email templates and CRM integration. So what is Amy? Well, we talked about Amy briefly in the beginning, but let's go to their developer's website, X.ai, to learn more. AI scheduled meetings for smarter workdays. The future is here. The best leaders delegate. Meet Amy and Andrew, our AI personal assistants. So they have both female and male assistants. Just CC them. So we have Amy's and Andrew's email address here. And they'll automatically schedule your meetings so you can focus on more meaningful work. And they have examples of how you can delegate Amy to get to work, all using natural language over email. It's similar to how you delegate tasks of Google Voice or Siri. They all rely on natural language processing technology, NLP. But Amy doesn't just stop there. Let's go to their About page. So as you can see, they've been around for almost 4 years, backed by blue chip investors. Very good. So introducing Amy and Andrew. We're Amy and Andrew, the world's first autonomous AI scheduling assistants. We have spent the past few years studying your meeting habits and terminology. So here they're talking about Amy's ability to solve problems, like schedule meetings with multiple people while adjusting to your calendar. Amy also knows when to schedule certain types of meetings. For example, if you say, let's meet for drinks tomorrow, Amy's going to schedule that meeting preferably after working hours. Or if your boss or favorite client wants to schedule a meeting with you, they don't need permission to put a meeting on your calendar, if you so choose. So Amy literally learns about everyone's natural language and meeting habits, while taking into account your standard preferences, such as your calendar availability, first priority people in your life, like your boss or favorite client, cell phone number, office address, favorite place to get coffee, etc. Amy and Andrew are personal assistants, and they do a 5-star job working within the domain of scheduling meetings. Next, let's go to the process overview. Here we'll show you how to integrate Amy into your CRM. We have 5 steps. Step 1, we get consent from our contact or customer that they want to meet with us. Step 2, we send an email to our contact or contacts if it's a group meeting, and copy Amy on the email. This is how we delegate scheduling tasks to Amy. So email templates will be used to increase efficiency when scheduling meetings with Amy. And if you don't have email templates readily available, that's okay. Email templates certainly help, and they'll benefit you greatly with lead generation. But I don't recommend relying on email templates alone when working with Amy. Step 3, when Amy successfully schedules a meeting, she'll send a meeting invite to all required parties. Step 4, we'll be complementing Amy with Zapier, our automation service. Amy's still working on developing a few features, so while Amy is doing that, we'll have Zapier swoop in and carry the rest. So Zapier is going to be used to send out unique conference details to our attendees with platforms such as GoToMeeting and JoinMe. Zapier will also modify calendar settings, send out meeting reminders, and much more. Step 5, make all your customer activities centralized to your CRM. You can do this with your CRM's native calendar integration, Or if you don't have a native calendar integration with your CRM, you can use tools like Chronify to sync your CRM and calendar activities. Process overview is complete. Let's do a quick demonstration using Insightly as our CRM and Google for our calendar. So we're going to pretend we're a sales representative talking with the customer, John Doe. Okay. And John happens to be walking into another meeting. He asks us to email him and coordinate with his assistant, Carl, to schedule a video conference so we can get a date on the calendar as soon as possible. We get off the phone and we're already in the CRM, like shown here, looking at John's contact record. In the contact record, we have his assistant's name, Carl, and we also have his assistant's email. Next, we go to Actions, email this contact, and then for the email template, we have 3 to choose from: schedule group meeting, schedule one-on-one, schedule one-on-one with assistant. We'll choose GoToMeeting call. And then we'll edit the email template. Let's meet to review the Insightly CRM proposal. Copy this, and we'll also use it for the meeting title. Amy, please work with John's assistant, Carl, who's in Phoenix, Arizona, to schedule a 1-hour GoToMeeting call for, and then we'll say this Tuesday. Title the meeting with John, and I'll copy and paste the Insightly CRM proposal so it's easily referenced for everyone. And then it says don't forget to CC the assistant and Amy. So we have Amy's email copied. And I go to the CC field here, add Amy's email, and then I can get Carl's email from John's contact record. Okay. And that's all I need to do. Schedule send. We're done. So as soon as Amy gets the email, she's going to get to work with Carl and work with him to schedule the meeting. Emails fly back and forth. According to X.ai blog article, it takes on average about 17 minutes to schedule each meeting. So I created an event in advance here in my calendar. And as you can see, Amy titled the meeting the way I wanted it to. She scheduled the meeting for Tuesday, which is January 23rd. The location is GoToMeeting. Amy's the organizer, and she sent out a meeting request, meeting invite to all the necessary parties, required parties. As you can see, Carl's not on here because he's not required. He was simply an assistant helping schedule the meeting for John Doe. So Amy did a good job. And as we get closer to the meeting date, Zapier is going to trigger meeting reminders to all parties involved and update them with the unique GoToMeeting conference details. Moving on to the required software subscriptions. So we need X.ai and a compatible calendar with X.ai. So let's go to their website. You can find this by going to their pricing page. So they have 3 to choose from. And this CRM integration will work for all 3. And then we have the calendars, Google, Outlook.com, Office 365. And you can connect with multiple calendars if needed. Okay. So next we have optional software subscriptions. They include email templates. As you saw on the website, you don't need a specific language or format to put Amy to work. Not necessary, because Amy can understand most commands, just like Siri or Google Voice. But as you saw with the demonstration, email templates prove to be very useful. Preferably email templates that can merge data from either your email client or your CRM. If you have an email template service that only integrates with your email client, it merges fields from your email client's contact records like with Cirrus Insight and Google Contacts, then I encourage you to check out PieSync. PieSync integrates with several CRM software, so I'll go to their website. Okay. And PieSync will sync data from your CRM to your email client's contact list. This way you have up-to-date contact data merged with your email templates. And then next we have Zapier, any paid plan. This is useful if you want to send meeting reminders, integrate with conferencing platforms, modify your event settings, or to loop Amy in on your cold email campaigns. And then finally, we have Chronify for syncing calendar events with your CRM's calendar. I recommend using your CRM's native calendar integration like we have with Insightly and Google or Microsoft Exchange. And if that's not available to you, you can use an integration service like Chronify to sync your CRM and calendar activities. So I have a link here to Insightly's native integration. So any events added or edited in one calendar will be instantly updated in the other. And they integrate with Google and Microsoft Exchange. So that's preferably what you want, something that's native to your CRM. If you don't have that, you can use Chronify. They integrate with all compatible calendars that X.ai works with. And then you can find if your app is connected using calendar connectors app link down below. And so they have one with Trello, Evernote, Slack, Zendesk. And if you don't see yours on here, you can always integrate with Zapier or build your custom integration with one of the calendar systems in your CRM using the Chronify framework. Links are provided below to each service provider. Let's move on to the setup process. So we're in, let's go to the sign in page. Okay. So I'm going to go to preferences. We're on the individual plan. So depending on what other plan you're on, it may look a little different. So we edit our preferences to ensure Amy has everything she needs to conform to your schedule. For this part of the tutorial, we're only going to focus on the contact information preferences. So let's go here. So for the contact information, Amy's going to pull these details here, for example, cell phone. So pull these details right here. John to call Micah at, and then she'll insert 559-666-4888 here. Same with Skype. Okay. And it's important to note all of these values are static. They'll always stay the same until X.ai updates this feature, of course. So if you need unique conference details for these ones, for example, then you can input your name to give details. Okay. And Amy will still input the word GoToMeeting or join me, but nothing more. Just this details here. If you want to choose a static link, you can use that. But if you need the unique conference details, input something like Micah to give details. Next, we're going to use the beginner's guide to your AI employee cheat sheet. So I have a PDF open here, and then I'll pull up our email templates. And we'll pull up this one for our example. Okay, that was the one that we used for our example. Very good. So this is a guide that we'll use for creating email templates. When you sign up with Amy, you should get an updated copy of this PDF. And again, for this tutorial, let's just focus on topics that apply to creating basic email templates, which are, when should I loop Amy into scheduled meetings? Only when we have permission from our contact, like in our example with John. And then next, how should I loop in Amy into scheduling meetings? Well, use language that's appropriate for instructing any assistant to schedule a meeting and ensure that they have the correct details, like shown here. Okay. Then you'll want to make sure your preferences are up to date. This way Amy knows what address to input in the meeting invite. Same goes for your cell phone number, like we showed you earlier, and all your other contact and location preferences. Just be sure to use the exact names in your email templates. So if I go here and I say I want to schedule a GoToMeeting call, you want to use that same word, GoToMeeting or Google Hangouts or Skype, so that Amy knows what type of meeting to schedule and what details to use. Okay. And next we have multi-participant meeting. So let me show you a group meeting. Let's click on here. Oh, that's not the right one. I think this one's it. There we go. So you want to name all the contacts in the email and state who's required and who's optional. So list all the attendees as shown here and state who's optional. By default, Amy's going to assume everyone on the CC or 2 fields are required participants. And lastly, keep in mind you can schedule up to 5 people, including yourself, and you're always required by default. And for just a moment, let's talk about Insightly's email template functionality. So if you want to have a group meeting, let's just go to Actions and new email from template. Okay. So if you want to have a group meeting and you pull people's information into this send to side on the right, so I'll pull in multiple people's information. That should be good. You must copy everyone's email address into the CC field here. Okay. If you send an email just like this, where you have the contacts listed on the right, you're going to send out individual emails to each contact instead of all together in one email, which is needed in order for Amy to schedule a group meeting. Although let's go back to our one-on-one emails, and I'll show you where this use case can come in hand. So let's go to emails, email templates, and then schedule one-on-one. Okay. New email from template. And then type in Mary Sue and Micah. So this would be a really great use case for recruiters or hiring managers, scheduling multiple interviews with each candidate all at once. Because again, it's going to, if you have the contacts here on the right listed, and then you just CC Amy, you're going to send out individual emails to each contact. And again, perfect use case for scheduling interviews. And next we have a time zone. So here, identify where your contacts are located. So this is where the insert fields bring a lot of value. So we have the city other, state other, and you can input the country as well. And that will give Amy enough information to show the time zone of your contacts. And then Amy's going to show your contacts meeting suggestions in their time zone, making it easier for your contacts to schedule a meeting. And if your contacts are local, then this part will not apply to you. Next, we have customizing a meeting title. So here I tell Amy, title the meeting with John, and then insert name of the meeting. And this is great because it's easily referenced for both parties. Insightly's CRM proposal is a lot better than Micah, John, GoToMeeting. And finally, we have other assistants down here. Like in our demonstration, we use the insert fields, assistant name, and the email template to include the assistant's name and instruct Amy to work with the assistant to schedule a meeting. So to recap, the results of the email templates is we give Amy and our contact all the details they need. We have the context of the meeting here. We have the name of the contact that we want to schedule the meeting with. We have the name of the contact's assistant, if they have one. Where the contact is located, if you're doing business internationally or nationwide, or what, and this is what Amy recognizes as a time zone. We have the duration, how long the meeting will be, where it'll take place, GoToMeeting call, cafe, my office. You can use both location and contact details. And then when it will take place, you can specify a date like I did, Tuesday, or a date range, next week or 2 weeks from now. And then you title the meeting so that it's easily recognized in everyone's calendar. So everything needed for clear communication for all parties involved. You can add more requests in the email templates too, such as, Amy, add a note to the meeting, and much more. And that's where I'd point you at that point to their help page. So you can, when you're logged in, you can go to help there, or you can find help by going down below, clicking help. And I also encourage you to speak with their customer success team to learn more. They're really great, by the way. I had a chance to talk with them. Very helpful. One last tip for creating email templates. I highly recommend using your natural expressions, your writing style, your branding guidelines, etc. This way, Amy will learn from a variety of natural expressions, writing styles, vocabulary, etc. Better serving all of us who use Amy. And communication with your contacts will be more authentic and more relatable. So everybody wins. Moving on to updating events, let's take a look at Amy and Andrew's skills. So we go to our help, and then it says, can Amy and Andrew? Click on this link here. Okay. So you can see a list of their skills. And then they'll have a PDF for you to download. You can get the most up-to-date copy. And as you can see, they have a huge feature set. This is true AI, competent personal assistance. And for this portion of the integration, we're going to identify how we can complement Amy with automation software like Zapier. So I'm only going to show you a couple of use cases in this video. First, under setting preferences via my X.ai, if you have meetings that you need unique conference details for, such as your Google Calendar or your Google Hangouts, Join Me, or GoToMeeting, then we'll use Zapier to add this information. So let's go to our Zapier integration. And we have Amy at X.ai, calendar integration, GoToMeeting details. We'll go to edit. And we start with an event starts app. Connect our calendar, edit options. And we're going to look for events starting in 4 hours or 24 hours. Doesn't matter. Whatever time you want to choose. Just make sure it's before the event, of course. And then search term, we'll search Amy's email address and then the word GoToMeeting. Next, for the text, we're going to replace Amy's email address. So it's going to find we're going to insert the attendees' emails here in the input field. And then we're going to replace Amy's email address by deleting it. That's what we're going to do. We're going to delete her email address. And I'll tell you why in just a little bit. Next, we go to create meeting. We integrate with our GoToMeeting app, select the create meeting action, authenticate, and then go to edit template. We take the summary from the event name, the start time, end time, and then you can choose how you're going to communicate over your GoToMeeting. So we'll choose hybrid, and the meeting type will be scheduled. Next, we'll send an outbound email. Edit template. Okay. And then you select the attendee's email from step 2 when we deleted Amy's email address. So it sends an email to everyone except for Amy. And then you take the summary name of the event, and then you can put GoToMeeting details, GoToMeeting information, and put a template like shown here. Please join my meeting, and put the time and your time zone on your calendar, and put the GoToMeeting URL, the unique URL, the unique conference details, and the unique meeting ID. Okay. But what about updating the event with this information instead of sending out more emails? Well, this can be done using Zapier, and in order for this to work, we'll need Amy to update the event with unique meeting details. We have to ask Amy to do this because Amy is the organizer of the event and not us. To make this a little more clear for you, for example, let's say we add an update event action here to update the event that was just created by that's about to start, or maybe a new event, right? And we have the event ID, and then we want to update the location with this GoToMeeting details. When we update the event, it's only going to show us this information. It's not going to show our attendees this information. We have to ask Amy. I mean, even if I go here to this event and I edit it, it tells me this is read only because you don't have permissions to edit. As you can see, Amy is the organizer. So again, we have to ask Amy. And we can do this with Zapier. And the way to do it would be, let's go back to Zapier. We would find the original email thread, hooking Zapier up with our email client, or the invitation email. Then we would create unique meeting details in our conference app, like GoToMeeting. And then we would reply to the email asking Amy to add a note to the event with the unique meeting details. So it can be done. So let's talk about a little more about the update event action that we're on here. So this is still useful because you can automatically color code events on your calendar, change your visibility settings, add notes, etc., making you more organized, aligning with your organization's data security policies, and saving you time. And next, let's learn how to add reminders. So we go to dashboard. Let's see what Amy already does. So Amy does send reminders, but not in the way you would think. So we have communications and updates. And it says it sends confirmation emails if a meeting is scheduled 10 days or more before it takes place. So just confirmation emails, not meeting reminders. So let's do that in Zapier. Let's complement Amy by setting up another integration. So I already have one for my business card scanner NLP integration, meeting reminder. So let's edit this Zap. So our first app is going to be a Google Calendar event start. Let's edit the options. And for the search term, you can apply this to all events created by Amy. So we just do Amy at X.ai. And if we have an upcoming event that meets Chris's criteria, then we send an email to the contact like shown here. So we pull the attendee's email. Actually, again, because we don't want to email Amy because Amy's going to think that we're scheduling another meeting. So we have to use, we have to use a formatter app. That's the one we got to use. So we got to use a formatter app, add a text, replace Amy's email address by deleting it. So input, and then we find the attendees list, attendees email, find Amy at X.ai, and then leave blank to delete the found text. Very good. And then next we go to the outbound email, go to email template, and for the to field, we're going to pull that from the output of step 2. And then put meeting reminder, colon, use the summary name of the event, reminder this event's coming up soon, and then the summary and the date. And you can customize this. Again, the event start, you can customize this to whatever you want. If you want it a day before, a week before, it doesn't matter. It's very simple and effective, and we get the most up-to-date calendar event details, as your meetings will be scheduled and canceled sometimes. So the event start trigger conforms to these changes. If you're interested in integrating your CRM with more intelligent scheduling services, like I have here for the business card scanner NLP integration, then check out the link below. It uses a similar technology. This concludes the tutorial. If you need further assistance, you can contact me via email at micah@cloudreferrals.com or contact me using the link below. And if you want to see more content like this in the future, make a donation to my YouTube channel, like the video, and subscribe. Thank you for watching.